Medieval Chronicles presents, in the heart of the Middle Ages, an age of faith, fear, and flame. Two minds rose from opposite worlds, one from the sunlit cities of Al-Andalus, where Islam guarded the treasures of ancient Greece, the other from the cloisters of Christian Europe, where theology ruled over reason. Their names Averroes and Thomas Aquinas, the philosopher of Islam and the Christian scholar. Separated by religion, united by a single voice, Aristotle. Two civilizations, two faiths, and yet one question echoing through the centuries. Can reason and revelation speak the same language? To understand their meeting, we must travel back to a time when knowledge itself had a geography. The torch of learning that once burned in Athens had passed through Alexandria, through Damascus, until it reached Cordoba, jewel of Al-Andalus. In this luminous city, books were more precious than gold. Under the caliphs of Al-Andalus, scholars translated the works of Plato and Aristotle into Arabic, preserving what Europe had nearly forgotten. Here, the Greek spirit survived, wrapped in the silk of Arabic words, and among those who studied them stood Ibn Rushd, known to the Latin West as Averroes, a jurist, physician, and philosopher. A man who believed that reason was the highest act of worship.
Truth does not contradict truth. What is true by reason cannot be false by faith.
He saw philosophy not as an enemy of religion, but as its mirror revealing the divine order through logic and reflection. In his commentaries on Aristotle, Averroes sought to purify understanding itself, to show that the human mind, when guided by reason, walks toward the same truth as the prophets. Meanwhile, across the Mediterranean, Europe was awakening. From monasteries rose whispers of a new curiosity. Monks reading by candlelight, merchants bringing manuscripts from Muslim Spain, scholars translating Arabic into Latin. And among those who read these rediscovered words, one young friar felt his world expand beyond the walls of faith. His name was Thomas Aquinas. Thomas Aquinas was born into a Christian world that still feared philosophy. In his age, theology ruled as queen, and reason was her servant. Yet Aquinas believed that truth could not fear truth, for if both came from God, they must meet in harmony. At the University of Paris, he studied Aristotle through the lenses of the Arabic commentators of Avicenna and others, whose names carry the fragrance of distant lands. What he found in them was dangerous and divine, a vision of a universe ruled not by chance or miracle, but by intelligible laws. A faith that reason itself was sacred, but danger followed. In Christian Europe, Averroism became a heresy, accused of separating philosophy from faith, of saying that the world was eternal and the soul mortal. Averroes' followers were called the double-truth heretics, accused of believing one thing by reason and another by faith.
Philosophy and religion are two paths leading to the same summit.
Yes, but the summit is reached only when reason bows before the mystery of God.
And thus began one of history's most profound dialogues, not of voices that met in life, but of ideas that met in eternity. For Aquinas, Aristotle was not the rival of faith, but its foundation. He baptized the Greek philosopher into Christianity, merging the rationale and the divine. In his Summa Theologica, Aquinas built a cathedral of thought, stone by stone, argument by argument, where faith and reason could coexist. He declared that the universe was rational because God himself was reason.
To know is to touch God with the mind.
And yet, Aquinas never dismissed Averroes. He debated him, refuted him, but also revered him, calling him the commentator, for no one had explained Aristotle with such clarity. In the silent halls of Paris, Aquinas' quill moved like a bridge across civilizations, connecting the deserts of Cordoba to the cathedrals of Europe. Centuries passed, empires fell, religions clashed, but the conversation between these two men, Averroes and Aquinas, never ended. Their ideas became the foundations of Western thought. Without Averroes, the Greek flame might have died in the shadows of medieval Europe. We thought Aquinas' reason might have been cast away as a dangerous idol. Together, they gave birth to a world where thinking itself became a sacred act.
The universe is written in the language of reason.
And that language was spoken by God.
Their meeting, though separated by faith, revealed something eternal. That knowledge is not the property of one civilization, but the inheritance of all humankind. Greek, Arab, Christian, Jewish, all drank from the same well of wonder. In the long history of thought, there are battles that destroy, and there are battles that illuminate. The meeting of Averroes and Aquinas was the latter. A clash that did not divide, but deepened our vision of truth. Their legacy whispers to us still in every university, every library, every act of honest thought, that to seek understanding is to walk the path of both faith and reason. The lamps of Cordoba have long gone dark. The ink of Aquinas has faded, but the light they carried, the light of reason, faith, and courage, still burns in those who dare to think. So, as we look back at the meeting of these two minds, the Christian and the philosopher of Islam, we are reminded civilizations rise and fall, but truth belongs to no empire. It belongs to every soul that seeks it. If their dialogue still echoes within you, then carry it forward. Read, question, reflect, because every act of understanding is a bridge between worlds. This is Medieval Chronicles. If the light of the past inspires you, subscribe, share, and join us on the next journey, where the minds of history still speak.